Welcome back, guys. We have updated the red-purple Trafalgar deck to OP05 finally. I've had a few days break, I've been testing the deck out, I've been changing a heap of things, and this would be my final copy of what I'll be running in my deck until OP06. So, we all know what Law's ability does, it's absolutely insane. I'm really enjoying this deck. Just to be able to bottom deck stuff is definitely a good ability. So we're running 4 Otamas. It's a 2k counter, 1 cost, with on playability of give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2000 power during the turn. It is a very viable card in this deck. It is good for countering, it is good for minusing power off opponent's characters to help with bottom decking or attacking into them bottom decking if they try and save it. We've got 4 Zoro 3 cost 5k power. Now Zoro is really good, it is a rush. We can cheat it out on the leader ability, we can play it out, use it as another swing. Very, very good, viable, cheap card to play out. Next we have Vista. So we have 3 Vistas, which is a 3 cost 3000 power, 1k counter power. On play is K up to one of your opponent's characters with 3000 power or less. So you could combo into doing Otama if you're at 4 Don, Otama and then Vista. If there's something already 3000 power or less, play the Vista out. That gets one thing off the board, and then you still got the leader ability to be able to bottom deck something else. Very good card for just helping out clearing the board. Next, I've got 2 Ace. Here's a 7 cost 7k power. On playability, it is minus 3000 power to 2 of the opponent's characters. The rush ability only comes into effect if it is a Whitebeard pirate leader, which we are not. So it is a really good card to play out. I'd probably play out Ace. If there's 2 rested characters, I'd play Ace out minus 3000 off both. I'd probably attack into one, hoping that they would let it die and then use leader ability to bottom deck the other one. That clears 2 off the board if you're only just at 7 Don. So it is a really good card, situational, but it can help the game. Now, I only have 2 Gordons, so I can only run 2 Gordons. It's a 1 cost, 2k power, no counter power. You play it to board, activate the main, you may return this card to the bottom of the deck, give up to one of your opponent's characters 3000 power during this turn, minus 3000 power during the turn. So I suggest to run 4 of these. I am running 2 Hydra as well to counter in with the other 2. I know in OP06 there will be a card that is very similar to Gordon. I will be running that as well. I think that would be a really good card to run. Now this card is really good. There is 4 of these. It's a 3 cost, 1k counter power, 4k power. When attacking, if 3 life or less, add up to 1 Don from your Don deck and set it as active. So you got to make sure you've got 3 life or less for this ability to work. So I normally try and play this out when I'm at either 3 or 4 Don on that turn. So I'd play it out. Obviously it's got to sit there until the start of your next turn. Make sure you take that 1 life, and then on the start of your next turn put 1 Don underneath it, swing for 5, another one comes out active anyway, so it's like you haven't used it. It is a very good card to ramp your Don, which is what you really need with Trafalgar. I have noticed that I have got down to 0 Don and it really affects the game. We have 3 Trafalgar searches. This one is a 3 cost 5k no k counter power. Its ability is when attacking, if your opponent has more Don cards on their field than you, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Heart Pirates type card and add it to your hand, then place the rest of them at the bottom of the deck in any order. So it is a really good card. I do use it quite a bit if I can, if I see it. But yeah, it can be a really good card just to filter your deck, find something that you might need, such as any Heart Pirates in the deck. Definitely a good card. We run 4 of the kid blockers. So Kid is a 5 cost, 6k, 1k counter power. Your turn, once per turn, when a Don card from your field is returned to your Don deck, add 1 Don from your deck as active. So this is really good. The combo play I play, like, I don't like to play my characters out before I attack because they could get negged, like taken off board, whatever. But with this one, if I get to 5, I might drop it. I'll minus my Don back, and then we'll kill something off the board, play something else out, and then I'll get 1 Don active back, put it under lead or a character, and swing. So it is a really good card to filter some active Don back in. Now, this little combo here is really good. I really like this combo. So this is out of the starter deck. This one's ulti. It's a 4 cost, 5k power, 2k counter power. On play, minus 1 Don back to your Don deck. Play up to 1 page, 1 card with a cost of 4 or less from hand. So whether you play it out and pay your 4 Don, or whether you cheat it out with the leader ability, you can play this one out, minus a Don back to play out this page 1, which is a really good combo to get bodies on board. Now we're going over to page 1. It's a 4 cost, 6k power, 1k counter power. It's just a vanilla, as people call it. It has no ability, but it is in there to be a combo with ulti. Now we have Shachi and Penguin. They're a 4 cost, 5k power, 2k counter power. On play, if there are 3 or less Don on your field, you may add up to 2 Don from your Don deck set as rested. So this is a really good card to, when you're minusing your Don back, you KO something on their board, or bottom deck something on their board, and then you play this out to get 2 Don back if you're 3 or less. So it is a good Don. It's a good Don recovery card. So we have Traffy, or Trafalgar Law. He's a 4 cost, 5k power, 1k counter power. He is a blocker. Now his ability is pretty good. On play is Don minus 1. If your opponent has 7 or more cards in hand, you may trash 2 cards from their hand. So it gets rid of 2 cards out of their hand, knocks them back to 5. It could be anything, counter power, an event card, anything. And that could help improve the game. They might not be able to counter out of attacks. Definitely a good card to have in hand. Next up we have Beppo. 4 cost, 5k power, 1k counter power. On play and when attacking, if the number of Don cards on your opponent's field is greater than the number of Don cards on your field, add 1 Don card from your Don deck rested to your cost area. So here's a really good card to bring Don back out as well as recovery, as long as you stay under the amount that your opponent is. But definitely a really good card to have on board. Definitely helps the game. Definitely helps me keep Don up. Now we have Fire Fist. This is a 2 cost event card. I like this card quite a bit. So the main effect is give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 4,000 power during the turn. Then if your life has 2 cards or less, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a 0 cost, with 0 or less power. So this is an absolutely insane card. Obviously you got to wait to get down to 2 life to use the second part of it. Sometimes it comes in handy just to use the first part, especially if you get it out of life and someone's got another attack coming. And then if you're at 2 life and you can minus 4,000 power and that's their whole thing, you can kill that card off as well. But if not, it still brings the power cost down, which is still really good. Hydra, we just went over this one before. It's a 1 cost event card. Minus 1 Don back to the deck. Give up to one of your opponent's characters 3,000 power. Minus 3,000 power during this turn. So still a very good card. I've only got it in there to make up 4 Gordons. So that's my other 2 Gordons. And lastly, we have Gamma Knife. This card is absolutely insane. So it's a 2 cost event. Minus 1 Don back to the deck. Give up to one of your opponent's characters power minus 5,000. Still pretty good. And the trigger on that is add up to 1 Don from your Don deck and set it as active. Trigger for this one is if your opponent has 6 or more Dom cards, your opponent returns one of their Dom cards back to their deck. And this one is activate card's main effect. So guys, this is my probably final copy that I'm going to run of Trafalgar Law until the new set drops. We get more support in the new set. I'm so excited to keep playing this deck. It's absolutely insane. Still working out the kinks in it, but it is a promising deck. It's only new and I'm really enjoying it. So if you guys like this deck profile, smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe to this channel, it's absolutely free. And as always guys, stay legendary and I'll see you all in the next one.